I just wanna chill and vibe. Baby girl, keep it real, no lies. She said she's 21, I said alright. If we gon' be grown, then speak your mind. I just wanna chill and vibe. 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 Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Turn up, gon' turn up. Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Gon' turn up. Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Gon' turn up. Soon as baby turn up, you know Buddha gon' turn up. Let's start the show. Only good vibes. No, I'm serious. Let's start the show. Come on, mom. Come on, mom. Only good vibes. Turn up. Turn up.
Hey, what's good, sippers? This is your boy Buddha, and over there's a lovely
Baby,
and we coming to you live with another rendition
of Sipping and
That's what I'm talking about, baby. Make sure I don't miss a god doggone word.
Another rendition of Sipping and Conversations. Sipping and Conversations. Sipping and sipping and sipping and sipping and sipping and conversations.
That's pretty silky smooth, baby. Silky smooth. And I'm gonna tell you, man, you are beautiful. Beautiful.
You know what you ain't gonna blushing already, like, dang.
Well, hold on. This is a public service announcement, baby.
Dang.
This is a public service announcement. I need to say this and get this out the way early.
Go on, get it out. Say what you got to say. Say it with your chest.
I want to, since it's on a, this is WCW Woman Crush Wednesday.
Woman Crush Wednesday.
Oh, okay. Oh. And I wanted to publicly say, baby, you are always my crush. For more ways than one, but one in particular reason I want to say this. All right. So yesterday or last night, I had a little shingity dig with some fellas, right? And I had to hold the controls down and do all the little technical things that baby do that I truly appreciate. Definitely have a newfound appreciation for all the hard work she just put in to make sure this show runs, right? She done took a night pill and she was asleep, but she heard the call of help, desperation. And she fought the drug-induced sleep to help me in my time of need. So as I say, hashtag men are the prize, I'm going to say today that my woman definitely is a prize to me.
Like my jaw hurt. I can't even smile hard enough. Thanks. I appreciate that.
She was behind the scene from a remote location, making sure her man stayed ready.
Y'all know it's like this. When you're in a relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's strengths and there are challenges. I don't call them weaknesses. There's strengths and there are challenges, right? And so everybody have it. As individuals, as couples, you have them, right? So that being said, where he's challenged, I'm stronger. Where I'm challenged, he's stronger. And so that being said, there are roles and there are tasks that just flows much easier if the other person does it. And so that being said, yes, I was extremely tired yesterday, and I came in the house with nothing but I am going to bed early. Took my night cap out the gate, said my lovelies, and bid him a good evening. Gave him a tutorial on what to do.
I mean,
he was hearing me, but he did not listen. Bless him.
First of all,
he did good. Now I won't say that he did not. They did very well
under the circumstances,
considering, all things. And so I was cold blown knocked out. And baby girl was like, Mom, you need the help. They need you right now. I'm like, what? Huh? Okay. So now, of course, I'm annoyed.
She sure was.
All outdoors, and I'm like, just push. What are you looking like? And I was like, okay, calm back. Whew. Okay. I'm like, it's easier if I just go on and start controlling this thing from my phone. So I'm doing all the button pushing, and thankfully, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna give a shout out to StreamYard. All right. If you don't know, hello Facebook, hello YouTube. If you don't know StreamYard, they ain't even paying me for this, but I have to give them props that there are a lot of the things you see taking place during the production of the show. I can do it. It was proven that I didn't have to be where they were. I was able to do certain things from my phone. And so that being said, it's a beautiful platform if you want to do, you don't even have to necessarily do podcasts, whatever type of a live, it's equivalent to like Zoom with the exception of you can do other little things, okay? And you can stream to multiple platforms and you can have guests and all those things. But nonetheless, I decided, okay, let me just go ahead and, wake up a little to get the man going. And I can see everything happening, okay? And I'm like, I'm looking at you. So I know you're looking at the screen. So I need you to look at the 3 words that's right there and push the button. Yes. How did you turn it on? I said, just tap on it. You see me tap it? I tapped it. It's off. I tapped it. It's on. You do the same. And so he was like, oh.
Hold on. This sounded like he about to roast me. Keep going.
No. But it was just because, I know part of the complication, the part of the challenge was he was excited. Oh, man. He was excited to be doing this because this is a very good thing that the men are doing. And so he wanted to be right. Right. And so if you haven't checked out the episode on the it's not Sipping and Conversations. We're just collaborating with Crow's Nest Promotions. And so it's actually a joint effort with a group of guys. It's just happened that Buddha and Crow are like in partnership with it. So he decided that he wanted to do something special for the people in the bike. And with no training. Okay? No trial run, okay? But I am going to also say congratulations.
Oh, congratulations.
Because despite it all, they actually did, there was some hiccups, but it's no differently than if we had some hiccups on our show, and we've been doing this for a while, right? So the fact that they did this without being in a live studio and they were just doing things, on the efficient budget.
Thinking.
They actually did relatively well. And of course, there's room for improvement. And so, in order to get better, you just got to keep riding that bike. So
Right.
I'm giving a proper shout out to him because despite waking me up at my good old fashioned sleep,
drug induced. Don't forget that.
It was very much.
It takes a little more strength.
It was rough. It was rough. It was rough. Like, because I had to come out of that just enough to, because I'm like, this ain't working. And then I was frustrated. Then I was laughing.
And then she liked the content.
And then I'm like, all right, okay, I'm already up. I might as well hear what they got to say. Okay. And then let me at least steer this thing behind the scene, So there's that. If you missed it, it is on the page. And so with that being said, hello, Sippers. What's good, creeps and freaks? Welcome back and welcome. Okay. So you are now tuned in to Sipping and Conversations with Buddha and Baby. Let's start the show.
Oh, well.
Now, last week. Okay.
Ooh.
Last week.
I'm here for this.
What we talked about.
I'm here for this.
Oh, before I do the last week recap, we have 2 special guests. Our resident homeboy and a returning lovely
we ain't
soul.
saying her in a minute.
Yeah, it was been 2 seasons or season.
Yeah, not 2 seasons.
Almost 2 seasons. So I'm going to bring them on so that they can give us their elevator speech of
who they be?
Our recap.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, guess number 1. Let me see if I can get you on now. Where you at? Boom.
Well,
number 1. Number 2. Hey, what you gonna do? Hey. Tell the people in the bike who you is, girl.
Oh, hey, y'all. I'm Dr. Velvet Loves. I consider myself a soul surgeon. So I'm so excited. I love y'all. I love you, baby. I love you, Buddha. Like, let's do this. Happy to be back.
Yes. Y'all know who this man here is. What's in your mouth?
What you sipping on, man?
I'm not gonna say a word. I'm just gonna put it.
Ooh. I like that.
That's how we rolling tonight.
All right.
What's up, y'all?
All right. So last week,
mm-hmm.
we're gonna do a recap. What is more intimate? You got an elevator speech now. Kissing or oral? Go Velvet.
Oral for me. Kissing is good, but oral can make me fall in love.
Somebody that ain't man says this. Amen. Go ahead. Continue.
I mean, it's okay. There's no right or wrong to it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
What you got? What say ye, old great Hannibal?
I still say kissing because kissing can be inclusive of everything. So you feel me, Velvet? Dr. Velvet. Okay.
Stick to your story.
I'm sticking to my guns.
All right.
To my guns.
Buddha, we already know your stance.
You're right.
What is it?
I went to war last week about this here oral sex. It was me against the world out here.
So, baby, you think kissing?
Brother, I'm with you. I'm just saying.
And
let's expand that out a little bit.
Yeah, what I said was kissing, and but my reasoning behind it is because it's not one of those things that it took me a while to get really into it. So if I'm doing it, that's more intimate to me. So not shoot down nothing else, not against anybody's preferences. However, to each their own, for whatever your reasoning, for whyever, whomever. But I do agree to a great magnitude with Hannibal that one gives me a lot of other things. So there's that. Okay. This week I didn't put it up. Go ahead, because I need to put up what we
So
talking about.
how many of you who are listening just had an orgasm of somebody kissing them in the mouth? Because it's inclusive to everything. Ding.
So I'm gonna say this. Maybe the person kissing them didn't know how to get that effect.
Boo.
I'm gonna say again. I'm gonna say again.
I agree.
I mean, you can kiss all you want. I mean, I get it. You got the tantric stuff, boom, boom, boom. You done read your little books. I get it. Kama Sutra, all that good stuff. But we talk about regular Joe Schmo. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna do this kissing thing to get to the other things. But like
I can't relate to the regular Joe Schmo. That's the problem.
Huh?
That's the problem right there. I can't relate to the regular Joe Schmo.
Yes, let them know, boo. Let them know.
Okay.
Hey, all right. So before we get into tonight's topic, let's go into what the people say. And so, as a public service announcement, disclaimer to those that are watching this show, in the various groups, and if you do not give permission to Facebook for StreamYard, we won't know who you are. So you would probably need to log out, go back into it, give Facebook permission so that I can know who you are and recognize you. You know, we can acknowledge you accordingly. Or you can check us out on our other platforms. You can go directly to YouTube, or you can come to our Facebook page. Okay. So that's just something that I wanted to make sure, because I know that we do have it streaming in different places.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you don't, I know a lot of people don't like to read everything.
I got
you. And it says it at the bottom, you got to give the permission for StreamYard to be viewed, so that your comments, who you are, will be viewed. Your comment will come through, but I won't know who you are. So to whom it may concern that's about to pull up a chair, I'm going to need you to go bike and do it. Hit the permission. Otherwise, come on over here to Sipping and Conversations page, either on Facebook or on YouTube.
Come get it.
And we ready. So, what do people say? What's up, family? What's happening?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, we got a couple of people that were, that was one of the people that were there.
Well, he got it. Warning.
I love it.
Sure. You got it.
You see it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what they say. Oh, they were saying, for you giving me my flowers now.
Yes.
Got some thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm gonna argue with Fomika, and if I'm saying that wrong, I apologize.
Fomika.
Fomika. So Fomika, I'm going to talk to you in the language of one of probably my favorite artists of all time, Prince. And I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. And so if I was your girlfriend, he says, we don't have to make love to have an orgasm. Okay, so you saying an orgasm is not the physical act. So I will argue with you when you say an orgasm doesn't equate to intimacy, because you would have to have that intimacy built in order to have that orgasm.
Touch the third mind. Gotcha.
Hey, everybody. We getting a hey, honey. Hey, Bon.
Hey.
Hey, Kiara.
I would say this, though. Somebody, she said, what's the last thing she said, baby? You don't mind?
What last thing?
The last thing fell on track, baby. It says,
I ain't know. I'm still at the top giving shout outs.
Stimulation
can also be a mental or emotional. Yeah, you're right.
Exactly.
But so is an orgasm. It'll give you an emotional or mental stimulation, because you can equate the relationship being great based on how good your nuts are.
I'm with you, my brother. But let me stop you short of the goal line, because the goal line physically and the goal line in the surreal realm, two different things. Again, we were talking about that having that connection in everything. So the only way you really get orgasm is through connection, because you can nut and not feel anything.
But I'm gonna bounce this back off you though, because we're talking about intimacy, right? And to get to that one level of intimacy, don't both of them have to align?
Exactly. Exactly. All right.
Now let's get to
we're not gonna go back and forth. We're not gonna monopolize. You know.
Baby doing administrative things.
Yeah, right.
Okay, that's what you're talking about. An orgasm doesn't equate to intimacy. Right. It is a response to being stimulated, though.
Yeah. But some people take it, I mean, their mind goes somewhere.
You know what they want to connect, how they connect, what they're using to connect.
Especially.
Look, what intimacy is in a rose or a hand job.
Well, it's a self-intimacy. You're fulfilling your self-pleasure.
Right. You connected to yourself.
Hey, if you can't stimulate your own, your own self. Oh, if you can't stimulate yourself, how you gonna expect somebody else to do it?
Hey, if you can't, then like the old folks used to say, you better get somewhere and sit down.
Wait, say that again, Hannibal.
I said, if you can't, then like the old folks used to say, you better get somewhere and sit down.
Sat down somewhere.
Stimulation has to be emotional? I don't know. I mean, I guess if you're emotionally the money, sometimes it could be a transaction. I'm stimulated because I got that cash.
Well. All right, so we went into, I made sure I went and recognized what the people say. So tonight, y'all ready for this?
Let's go for it.
All
I'm
right.
here for this. Let's go.
Relations. We just subbed it out instead of saying sex. Relations with medical condition. Ooh. So, jump right into it.
Tell the story, baby.
I ain't gonna tell
the story.
I'm gonna tell a story. Like, here you go.
Yeah.
So, a husband and a wife are together for 5 years.
They love each other?
They love each other. They have a child together, and everything. And for 6 months now, there has been no relation.
No this? Oh.
There's been no relations. And it's because of a pre-existing medical condition. However, the wife is aware of the medical condition, but she has not sought treatment. She had medical attention.
Oh.
But it's been 6 months. And husband is he is continuously being faithful. But he is, what's a good word?
He is self-intimacying himself.
He is not even self-intimacying. What?
He is yearning.
Pleasuring himself. Oh, he is just simply enduring.
I'm sure he looked like Martin when he was gone for that hiatus, and they found him in the monk station with the half afro.
So now the husband is, few weeks, okay, all right, done went. Now it's like,
wait a minute.
Look here, woman. We got to do something because, and on top of that, things are starting now to get a little rocky. As to be expected. And so with that being said, now the right husbandly duties is like, what can I do to help you help us? Help you help us.
I mean us. Me, we.
I want to
us.
help you, so we could be okay.
Okay.
We could be better. So we're there now, right? So now, my question is that I posed is, without that being a story, and you are in a committed relationship, it's 6 months, be it the man or the woman with a potential medical condition that has not been treated or been the person haven't sought medical attention. What's the best way to navigate that?
From what perspective?
Well,
from let's say you ladies, you are the man, roles reverse, and we're
going to reverse roles.
Role reverse. Now your husband is the one that ain't having sex.
Your husband
versus men. You're in this scenario. You are the man. Let it go.
Let's do it.
So let's see who we're gonna have go first. Well, first let me see what the people say thus far. Bring it. Oh, kissing. All right, boom, boom, boom. All right, we got some eyes. The thrill is gone.
I see. Somebody said, "What them hands or that mouth do?" And I'm paraphrasing, but yes.
Something wrong, medically wrong with her mouth. Why hasn't she sought medical attention? So we're not going to worry about that story. That's just a story. All right.
Well, you got no valid questions though.
Yes.
Valid questions.
Well, she had not, but let's just say she, because now the husband is giving attention, it's happening. It's in progress. So, but again, my question is, what if you are the man? Well, from the woman's perspective, your husband
ain't put out
in 6 months. What say ye for the women?
What say ye?
Men. What say ye for the man?
Okay.
And then I also want to hear from the woman's perspective, why would you not seek medical attention? What are you trying to do to remedy? What other acts of relation are you considering? Okay, that's what we got.
Okay.
So I'm seeing in the chat comments, about what is the cause for disconnection and need to get to the root of the problem of communication, in sickness and in health. And so I'll be honest, this strikes a chord.
Oh, you triggered.
Okay? this strikes a chord because one, we're talking about a medical situation. That's one thing. And when you start getting to rocky roads, that's another. Because when there is the to death to us part perimeter that is on that. So if that is truly the case on both sides, then you are trying to figure out what's going on and how to circumvent it. And if you already know what's going on, okay, and there's nothing going on in this sense, then you're trying to figure out how to alleviate one situation so that you can alleviate another situation. Okay, I've been in a situation where it wasn't medical. Okay, and
calm down.
Wait a minute.
And you, as the man or the woman, committed to that, you go through the phases of how do I help to alleviate whatever's going on over here? Is it a physical? Is it a mental? Is it a spiritual? What's happening? And if it becomes just the when you get to the rocky roads and all you're traveling over is rocky gravel. Now that's where the issues set in. Okay. And I don't care who you are. You know, if there is no reciprocation in terms of honest effort, because I can tell you, oh yeah, we're gonna work on this, we're gonna work on this all day long. But if what I'm saying and what I'm doing don't match up, now you on the other side have a right to say, hey, you know what? I'm about to handle this a different way.
Okay.
What you mean? What you mean different?
And it could be a number of different ways. You could say, I'm just not gonna deal with you, I'm gonna deal with somebody else. It could be a number of ways. Now I'm saying that's an open door. Right. But it could be a number of ways.
Understood. All right, Miss Dr. Velvet.
Mm-hmm. I've been waiting, patiently waiting my turn, because I got strong opinions on this topic. And I feel like, first of all, why hasn't the wife already offered him to go have sex with someone else, whether it's one of her friends who also likes to fuck, or one of her, hook him up on a dating site, like hook him up with a paid sex worker, take him to a sex club, and just let him soar his royal oats. I mean, for me, when you're in a relationship, the goal is for both people to be happy at all times. And I cannot be your end all be all. So if there is something that I can't give you for whatever reason, it don't mean you don't get it. It means you go get it somewhere else. So I think it's an easy fix. I think that after 6 months of having this condition, you should have already hooked your man up with something.
Well said.
We're gonna open a clinic for you.
We're gonna
do some grant writing, open a clinic for you, get some sponsorships, whatever we gotta do.
Why the clinic? What do you mean?
No, I'm just joking, but I'm saying
but what do you mean by the jokes? So I can
so that other women can hear this message. Other women and other men. I'm not just gonna say other women. Other women, other people can hear this message. So
before we go any further, for our viewers,
say, oh hell no.
We need to.
Baby, you ain't say what you was drinking tonight.
Oh, I did not.
Or but that's okay.
Look, I went straight into business mode. Okay,
that's it.
Business. I am drinking cognac and ginger ale, just a little bit. Sawyernack. I need more.
Yes, cheers to that.
Okay.
Buddha.
I'm drinking whiskey.
Buddha's on whiskey. Okay.
Come on, bro. You got to tell us what it is. You can't just say whiskey.
He's on Canadian Club.
Canadian Club.
Okay. We on that CC train tonight.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you drinking water, Miss Velvet?
I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
Smoker, not a drinker, so water.
Very good. Water is good for our bodies. All right. So many are probably going to be overly opinionated because of your views.
I get it.
So because
of course
many of our new viewers won't know who you are, let's take about 5 minutes
to reintroduce
yourself. And so, coming to the stage, Sippers, is the lovely Dr. Velvet Jones. Excuse me, Loves. I don't know why I say Dr. Jones.
I love y'all. I love y'all.
Love Jones.
It's Love Jones. It's the Love Jones, Velvet Jones, and I like Love Jones. All right, boom. So here you go. Tell them who you be.
Okay, well, I am a asexual, polyamorous woman who used to be a, former spy for 2 decades. And now I've been retired for 6 years. And I have all these weird views And I'm just very different. And so that's who I am. Me, I'm happily unorthodox.
So what's for those who are maybe don't know,
Right.
what is an asexual?
Ooh. Asexual means I don't have sex. I don't have penetrative sex. I haven't had sex since 2015. You know, maybe some little onesie twosies, but for the most part, I have no interest in sex. It's just, it doesn't, I wish that I did. I feel like in about 20 years, I'm gonna be like, my kiss, and I'm gonna be going after all the young bucks. But right now, at the age of 45, I am asexual. I have no feelings for it. It's just, it doesn't do anything. And I have to blame menopause or something. I mean, sexual trauma, who knows?
Okay. Understand. All right.
It's a little like Hannibal got a question.
Hannibal. Come on.
Bring it.
You get one question, Hannibal.
One question, and you got 2 minutes to ask it. If my mouth doesn't say it, my face doesn't. It did. And it
Say
did.
what you want to say. I'm here for it.
No, I listen. I feel you, my sister. I do, and I respect that. I do. I'm just gonna say you ain't met the right one. That's all I'm saying.
Let me tell you.
Hear that all the time.
All the time. And
Always
it's scary.
say, you ain't had the right one.
But it's true. It's true. And it might not be the right one
It
yet.
don't matter if it's right or if it's wrong. We will never know.
But it's a true statement. It might not be the right one saying it. Okay.
It just might not be the right time, period.
It's actually,
I was going to say that too. It might not be the right time. It might not be the right one.
And that but see, here's what many men fail to realize. All that shit is irrelevant. Because if we don't want it, I don't care if you could be the creme de la creme. I don't want it. I don't care.
Oh, but the physical.
Men buy me lots of gifts, vacations. They want to do this, do that, because they the right one, and they're gonna show
that's
it.
Garbage.
And it doesn't work like
garbage. That's garbage. And you said it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. And you also said the connection. And then we'll go back a couple of few minutes and I said, the physical doesn't equate to the surreality of the situation. There has to be a deeper connection. And so, and that's why I say you have no interest. I get that. And I respect that. And I still say, because you have not run into that connection. Now,
well,
can I say something?
I know we all like, what?
Can I say something?
Yes.
We don't agree.
To keep this party going along.
So you think you ran into that connection?
Velvet.
Many times.
Velvet.
If you ran into that connection, then you would have connected.
No.
Velvet. I appreciate who you are today. And if that's where you at, I'm gonna ride with that.
You poking out.
At the end of the day,
no.
If she was my woman, I'm not gonna be lacking. I don't know.
Listen, the men in my life
already
love
told me.
Okay.
In 6 months,
stop it.
I'm gonna have some friends.
The men in my life love me.
All right.
Yes. I think that.
Go ahead.
Listen, I want to address this comment you made. You just haven't met the right one. It's very dangerous, honestly. When men talk like that to me, I really get afraid because I've had so many bad situations where men feel like, okay, we just had this wonderful experience. Now you see you with the right one, and they start feeling entitled. Maybe we have this huge connection, this huge, just physical attraction, whatever it is. Maybe we just gave each other oral sex and it's the best in the whole wide world. So now you want this, and it's no. even though if we have oral sex, if we are aligned in all the ways in which I have had and know several brothers where that is the truth, it still doesn't mean that I want to have sex. It has nothing to do with the man meeting the right man. It has everything to do with my physical body, my changes, and where it goes from there. You know,
No, I
at the
get it.
time of me becoming asexual, I was in 3 wonderful relationships, long-term relationships that I had been in for years. And almost overnight, my sexual attraction just went away. And I had to explain to these 3 men who were used to being very sexual that, yo, you're going to have to get it from your other women because I don't feel that anymore. And so, no, it's a dangerous thought process, and you just have to accept people as they are. And I feel that in this situation that we're talking about, this man has to accept his wife as she is, and he has to really have a conversation to her about what makes him happy and what he's going to do in the future to get to happy.
Man, that's an excellent point, right?
So
Because
let me.
go ahead.
I'm sorry, Buddha. I just want to, because I want to make sure I'm clear on this. So, one, because it's so easy when we make a statement, right? For people to assume that we're making the statement to represent us. So when I say it's because you haven't met the right one, and I have a part 2 to that. When I say you haven't met the right one, it's not because I'm saying, hey, I can do that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you haven't made that connection, because the next part of that is the
But you ain't
next
hear
part
nothing
of
I said. Go ahead.
yeah
Come here,
the next
Hannibal.
part of that
Come
is
here, Hannibal.
that
Okay.
it's not just about
Come here,
it's
Hannibal.
not just about the physical,
Come here, Hannibal.
which is what you're saying. You have no interest in the physical. It's not just about the
Come here,
physical.
Hannibal.
I have a lot of interest in the physical. I love Karma Sutra. I love tantric
Come
sex.
here.
It's no interest in the penetration.
I got you.
Okay, and that's fine, because that's a different thing. That's a whole different world that a lot of people don't understand. You can get to
This is great.
so many different levels.
Okay,
Time out.
Okay.
bring it back.
We're gonna bring it back to the subject. Come on back.
You're not gonna win.
Now,
I'm not trying to win.
It is your perspective.
Nope, I don't want to
How I
win.
say to him, that is your views, right?
Okay.
She has her views. She knows she's a very assured woman. You can believe that. Doctor. And not just being a doctor, but just being who that she is.
No.
You are a very assured man, and all of your points are valid. I ain't even much gonna front. It is. However,
kind of like last week.
Okay, I'm gonna turn the hat on. Yeah, well, okay.
We're not gonna go back and try to bring your strong beliefs into someone. Don't shake your head. It is a strong belief into someone else's strong beliefs. All right. We just gonna say hiya and carry on. Live your life. Because everything is valid.
And I love you for your views. And I'm glad we had this conversation.
Yes.
So
and I love your views. I respect that. Trust that.
Bill, you said something interesting.
What you say, my baby?
What I say?
You said something, accepting her for what it is. So in my mind, it comes back to this intimacy, sex, all this playing out, right? So you're willing to get into these touchy, argumentative, rocky roads, as they say, right? Situation because you ain't getting no pussy. Right? What happened to loving the woman for who she was? What happened to all this other stuff? That's
the basic contract.
Sex is not important. A lot. It is, it's not important. It's not everything. But in a situation like this, 6 months later, it's everything. You know what I'm saying? We can't pick and choose. When is everything.
Absolutely. So let's just take a breather. Okay. We're gonna collect ourselves.
Oh, that's good.
Yes. And we're gonna go back to the topic at hand.
I was on the topic.
I got you.
Always on the topic.
So that people don't
Going on
get
the topic
lost in what we are actually talking about. It is sex with a medical condition.
Relations.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Relations with medical conditions. And what is the best way to navigate it? So now, your wife has, and the medical condition came after.
Is it terminal?
The relationship has been established. So you're in this relationship. Y'all's together. It is happening.
Is it terminal?
No, it's not terminal, but well, we don't know. I'm just saying it may be. Just saying. Doesn't matter. It don't matter.
Sex.
It
does matter, because if it's terminal, you really need to be getting at it. Because
I feel it. I'm with you.
Terminal or not, we all got a terminal. We all terminal. We all gonna die. So,
but what would be the true? I don't want to say the truth because every answer is true to that individual. So okay, marriages in a marriage, vows.
Yeah.
If we stick through to the vows of the marriage, so the vows say sickness and health.
Yeah.
Till death do us part, right? That's what they say, right? So
they say honor and obey too.
Huh? What did it say?
Honor and obey. Yeah.
I don't remember saying that when I give those vows.
I didn't in mine.
That's probably why they have me customize their vows. They want to be clear.
But it's there, though. It's there. I heard it.
It's there. But all I'm saying, if we gonna put that out there in terms of the parameters, then
it's there.
Put all the bullet points.
Obeying and all of that obeying.
Those are trigger words, man.
That's a good point. The point is make your own rules. Forget these archaic rules. So that's the point of that.
I got you.
Right. But ultimately, when we think of it, if we look at it from a monogamous,
I'm being devil's advocate,
standard perspective,
right?
Is it fair to the mate, the opposite mate, who doesn't have a medical condition, to suffer?
It's not fair, but no situation is fair. When you're talking about life and you're talking about especially emotional situations, they say all is fair in love and war. Okay, because there really are no boundaries. Because when it comes to your emotions and your needs, you're not looking at, this set of parameters or that set of parameters. You're looking at, this is what I need. This is what keeps me off edge. This is how I keep moving throughout the day. These are my basic survival needs.
Okay, let's just say that's what the case is. Understand? We all have those, right? But now we're here. I just told you that I have, I don't know. I'm gonna just throw me under the bus. I don't know. I'm gonna just say anything. So let's say I have, I don't even know right medical words, so I don't want to use it incorrectly, but let's just say I'm having issues with my ovaries. And I didn't know at first I was having this. I just knew something was wrong. Well, at first you don't know right away. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. It just all depends. So now I'm going through the motions, whether my body is physically changing and I'm just, caught up in the moment and I'm not really acknowledging that there's actually something going on. I'm just kind of going through it. And then finally, it's like something is wrong, right? Now, your mate, by the time it really triggers, it's probably, let's say, 6 weeks. And, and then they're like, so, what we gonna do by tonight? Can I make an appointment or something, And then I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to do it, like, cause I don't feel right. Okay, I don't feel good. Like, okay, how many times am I gonna be able to tell him I don't feel good?
Okay.
Without him saying, "You been to the doctor?" Right.
6 months.
And that's just me being upfront. Like, why wouldn't? And so because now the sex is important. Yeah, we can't say it ain't, because it is.
Why is it important, man?
It's because the connection.
But what if it wasn't important to you to start with?
But what's more important in this moment now is he's actually acknowledging, like, you've said this a few times. So
hold on.
Should he be saying to me that,
right,
baby, we need to go see what's going on because something might be really wrong? Or should I be getting mad at him because, oh, you keep asking me about his sex, you ain't even work, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do we navigate this? All right.
Can I answer the question, baby?
Go ahead.
Can I answer my own question? So I'm gonna give you my perspective, and I'm gonna move away from this one. So my mantra is.
You got a mantra?
Yeah, I got a couple of them, but this is one of them, and I want everybody to hear this. Possessiveness is not love. Understand what I just said. Possessiveness is not love. So if I'm in that situation as the person who cannot provide the sexual pleasure to said woman, go ahead and allow it. That doesn't define my love for that woman.
But it's not natural for you to initiate going.
Listen, I'd rather be a part
somewhere else.
First of all, I'd rather be a part of, not saying a part of the actual act of what's going on, but if I could choose, because eventually I'm still the provider, protector of the whole thing, right? Who I chose to be with for the rest of my potential life, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So let's make it a thing where I am a part of the process of choosing who is the person that's going to be fulfilling that role.
So let me ask you, as a man.
Okay, as a man.
As a man.
All right. Remember now. Remember how I already know that I can't have sex.
Yes, you know that. However, as a man,
okay,
how willing is the majority of men to compromise with the engagement of penetration from another man?
So as a man who, and this is real talk here, right? As a man who now just heard that he cannot have sex no more, use the thing that he been using for the majority of his life, more often than not, they're gonna kill himself. Suicide will be at a whole.
I hope not.
We speaking.
Don't do it.
We speaking on a person who we speaking to people who really value their member, right? This is what all they know. And they cannot provide a simple, I'm serious. You cannot provide a simple service. They might want to die the damn self before they even get to the point. Let's be honest, right?
Okay, so listen.
I'm just throwing that to the table.
Or women that are out there that may hear this.
We talk man now.
Okay, for all the men.
I'm with you, bro.
There is a woman out there that will love you.
I'm sure.
As you are.
But when you love them, but it's not about you.
I know.
As she said, it's about the love of thyself.
I know, but they need to know. They need because it's a normalcy that these things happen. They're not aware that there are other orientations that are in existence right now that are willing. You may not be able to perform as you once did, but you can perform in your new life, okay, with someone that does not require penetration. We've just been introduced to one. So I'm only saying this because, as I said in the season when we had this topic, there are options.
But you already married the one that desired penetration. So now we got to get past that point.
I know, but I'm just saying for the men that run into a debauchery where their member becomes non-functional. It'll just be a prize, an arm token or whatever. You know what I'm saying? There's options. All right. I just want to say that for the record. There are options. All right?
But let's say something also. Mm-hmm. So more often, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, more often than not, when it comes down to the non-performance issue, okay, men, and this is not a knock on y'all women, okay? I don't want y'all to take it as that. Men are expected to accept that and just move on versus women. So a guy, because if a woman says, I don't feel like it, or and that continues to be the mode, and then they get, let's say, menopause or whatever it may be, you may have a condition to where it's not comfortable, okay? And then the man is supposed to accept that and supposed to remain true, okay? Supposed to remain supportive, supposed to remain positive about the situation. Okay? But now
my
if we
question,
flip it,
keep asking, and this is what I want people to give, is I want their feedback on what is the best way to navigate the obvious.
I have opinions.
What?
Let's get it.
I think that you can do many other things. Like if we can't have sex in a monogamous situationship, then maybe we can explore with toys. We can, use our elbows and our kneecaps very creatively. Maybe
calm down.
We can even maybe we can, it's so many things that can be done, but at the end of the day, I think you have to just think about the happiness of your partner and really have real conversations. Yes. I think there are plenty relationships where you're true to one another, yet you still have policies that allow you to do certain things because of this special situation, and it should be talked about.
So should a man or a woman feel forced to accept alternative methods?
No, I would not use the word force. I've had,
because it feels like pressure when you're like, I don't want to lose him, I don't want to lose her, but so that's I'm curious about what you all feel about that, as well as what the people say.
In my opinion, that's why it works to say, look, I can't give you something that you desire, whether that's I like the beach and you hate the sand, but Bob loves the beach, so I'm gonna go with Bob to the beach. I think it's okay I don't think there should be any pressure on anyone for any reason. If somebody doesn't like something, there is somebody else that does. And that conversation needs to be had. It's an easy conversation,
right? And that's part of the challenge in relationships, married or not, is the transparent conversations. Being that you're only comfortable. You created a synergy where you're only comfortable to talk about these things, but you don't want to have those conversations about all the things.
Hold on. Somebody made a comment. They said not in the marriage. So let me debunk this marriage thing. Marriage is between marriage is between two people sometimes. Mm-hmm. But it's really an agreement and understanding between two people to honor the needs of each other, right? Mm-hmm. So I say again, even though you're married, they do not own you, right? Because there's situations out there, not trying to steer away from the topic so much, but there's situations out there that married people are raped by their mate. You know what I'm saying? Now, based on the theory of because you're married, are you supposed to shut up and take it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, so again, I agree with the idea of having this conversation. And if you love your mate, you're going to continue to love your mate.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
In the situation, you got to understand, if you are the one that cannot have sex, you are, basically what you're saying is, you are okay with the idea of your mate suffering.
And so is that arrogance? Is that what kind of behavior? Isn't that like a selfish, arrogant behavior to think that, well,
what happened to the love? I go back to possessiveness is not love.
And let's say you have the conversation.
Yeah.
What is the goal? First of all, you have to stay. We have to be very mindful when we're having conversations.
Mm-hmm.
It's communication, and so oftentimes we don't have effective communications. One, we don't state our intent.
Right.
And so we just start talking. This is words. So we don't have a beginning
or
an end because it's just bunches of words, right? So you have to state your intentions from the beginning.
Right.
What do you want to see at the end of this communication, this conversation we're having? Well, I can't have sex, you know. I can't have. Well, let's just say let's just bring it back. You have a medical condition, but you do go get the medical. You seek the medical attention, and they say, well, you won't be able to. You cannot engage in penetration. Because I said penetration because we know sex is more than just penetration. So I'm being very specific with the relations. I'm speaking exclusively about penetration. There are other forms of intimacy that you can, and however, how much of that can you do? If you desire penetration. So nevertheless, you get the attention. You find out that, okay, I can get this resolved. There's a remedy for this condition, be it the man or the woman. However, the condition is I cannot engage in relations for 3 months.
I mean,
so now
3 months.
If it's in those types of situations where you can't go for 3 months, right? You cannot engage in penetration for 3 months. Is that an alternative to navigating? We communicated, we went 6 months.
Right.
And, but we're here now. Okay. We found out that we can remedy, there's a remedy.
Right.
But go through the surgery or whatever, and then the recovery is 3 months, 90 days. Solid. 90 days.
You can handle that. I mean, those are, well, I'm under the idea of the person is not having sex anymore. For 6 months. Now we're here now. So I'm going to ask this question to the panel and whoever wants to answer this, because this may help in some of the decision making in the situation, right? Can you love somebody and have sex with somebody else?
Yes.
I'm asking a straight up question because
happens all the time. Because
at the end of it all, if a person steps outside of the covenant of this relationship to fulfill he or she's physical needs, does that mean they don't love you?
Not at all.
Because
men and women have made children outside of their covenant.
Because some shows ago, many seasons ago, we talked about what equates? I mean, what is the physical equation between two people that creates the idea of love, right? And some people use actual sex as a way of showing that they love their mate, right? So if they think that way, then obviously having sex with somebody else is really gonna say hell to the no, because that's how they show they love.
I'm waving at your baby.
You know what I'm saying? That's how they show their love to your mate. So I get it in that aspect of why there's this no.
So the people that say no, that just feel strongly about, man or woman, now my mate, I wish my wife would, or my husband is not. We ain't even having them conversations, you know.
But he's suffering. 6 months.
Is that part of it? And even if you know, whether you married or in a committed relationship, is it fair to your mate to endure? And I'm not going to say just because you're not having penetration, you're suffering. It's not, you know. Bring your volume back. Where you at? Oh, wait, hold on.
Okay.
I got you.
Sorry. Say that again. I had clicked your volume by mistake, apparently.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead.
Feel like, you know, I really don't like to use, I don't want to use the word suffering, because that is really not suffering.
I suffer you.
It's more just, you know, you're just having a deprivation.
Okay.
That's suffering.
Really suffering.
That's suffering. That's suffering. That's suffering.
What's suffering?
Let's get to what the people say. Because some of these people say something.
What are you saying? Suffering.
Why would it be considered suffering?
Okay, so let me answer that 2 ways in one question. In one answer. So if you have established a baseline, okay, of intimacy, and this is your norm, that's suffering, because you have now taken away from my essential way of life within our relationship. Okay. Now, if you have not,
was a lawyer. He good.
if this is not your norm, because let's be real about it, a lot of couples, they don't have an ongoing, just like a consistent type of intimate relationship. Okay. A lot of couples have I got to build up, let me take care of this and keep it moving. Okay. That's a different story. That's a maintenance thing. That's not a lifestyle. That's a maintenance thing.
Okay.
It's like, let me clear these pipes, basically. But if you have a situation where you and your mate, you and your SOS, significant other, someone special, let me break that down so everybody knows, okay, have that type of connection where when you go to sleep at night, it's not you going to separate sides of the bed, you go into the middle of the bed, and if nothing's happening, you're cuddling, you're holding. That's your intimacy. That's your intimacy for the night. Okay, that is what I would consider a connected relationship, and so you have a baseline. Okay, so yes, if you have that type of relationship, and we get to this type of situation, it is suffering, because now you're missing out on the essentials of your home life, your relationship life.
Now, can I address that?
Sure.
I do agree that it's suffering when you have been used to things being one way, and then it's kind of a switch up and they go another way. The remedy to suffering is to understand that we own our own happiness.
It is pain.
Look, he reads somebody's statement. He'll read the comment.
Suffering, the state of undergoing pain, distress, or hardship. Yes. So if it's suffering for you that someone no longer is sexual and they used to be, then you have to understand that now, you know, now what is the answer? You don't have to suffer. We are in charge of our happiness. We are in charge of what completes us. So I'm not gonna suffer for too long because I'm gonna have an honest conversation about where I feel I'm suffering and the remedy to it. And someone mentioned in the comments, you know, I need somebody to go through in happy in sickness and whatever, you know, the normal.
It's still there.
Yeah, that comment. The thing is, like, yes, we all want somebody that's gonna be there through the highlights and the downloads, but at the same time, we don't have to suffer. We don't have to. I don't want to not be happy because my partner is not doing something. I'll find that somewhere else.
They still there.
Yeah.
You may not want to be with them no more, but they're still there.
So I stand corrected. Now, again, I'm not saying that I was right. I'm not going for right or wrong. I just, you know, I wasn't sure if the deprivation of the relations would be classified as suffering. However, per definition,
hardship.
The state of undergoing pain, distress, or hardship.
That's something.
That is the definition of suffering. So the state of undergoing pain, distress, or hardship. So if you have it don't even have to necessarily be a high value, but if sex is part of, or relations is part of, well, it's natural. Okay, let's just be real. It's natural. And now you no longer can have it from the person you wanted it from, or if you are no longer able to give it, more or less receive. So if you can't give the act, that is a suffering for not just yourself, but it's for the person as well that's no longer receiving.
I suffer you.
Stupid. So let me see, what do people say real quick. Let's get into what
I was ready
to.
I'm about to lose my thought, but okay.
Don't lose it. Hold on to it. So let's go. Sex is important to me in a romantic relationship.
Okay.
I don't want to have a mate whom won't have sex with me. But if it was a medical condition, I hope that mouth works well. Respectfully.
Okay.
All right. So it's whatever works with each relationship. There is no one size fits all.
Okay.
All right. Let's go here. Bottom line is, if your mate can't provide, other avenues of fulfillment need to be on the table.
All of them.
I mean, now, this particular question here, it says, I doubt a guy would take 6 weeks to bring it up. So, for you men folk.
I don't know. I did this. I stood in the pain for 3 months when she had her surgery. Like, it was what it was. I didn't even ask for her to do nothing for me. I just suffered with her. Me don't hold on. I'll give you words. She even gave me the green light.
I extended a hall pass.
Yeah.
For the sake of all intents, purposes of happiness, because I wholeheartedly understand he's a whole man, and I respect his manhood, his manliness,
so
his desires, and and I wasn't going, but I'm at a point in my life where I can get in the middle of the fence, and but
so
that don't work for everybody.
So,
and that's respectable.
So here's my question. Like, as Hannibal was unfolding his thoughts, it got me to ask this question to majority of the ladies and some men too. You know what I'm saying? Like, are you having sex with your mate so they don't have sex with somebody else? So that was my thought. Like, are you doing the thing because you love it and you love them, or you doing the thing because you don't want them to be looking for nobody else?
Is it obligatory? And if it's obligatory,
thank you.
Does it mean the same thing? Does it even feel the same? I'm gonna say no.
No, I mean, but I'm here for this. Like, I'm in the idea. Like, I've seen people like don't suck penis, right? But they're gonna suck his penis because they don't want this. They don't want that to be the reason he walked away. You feel me?
I don't think nobody should do nothing they don't want to do. Period.
I'm here for that.
And I
wasn't even talking about you. But I'm just saying, like all that stuff matters. All those components adds up to why you do the things you do or don't do, right?
It's true.
I mean, the first thing should be, is it real?
What you have? True? What y'all have?
What you have. Okay, so yes. So we assume that what we have is true because we've been there for however many number of years or months or whatever. But the act of what we're doing within that, is it true? Why am I doing it? Am I doing it because I just want to shut you up? Am I doing it because you have guilt tripped me into this? Why am I doing it? So it needs to be true, because in the end, if I perform the act and it's not true, then I'm going to have issues later, and that's going to cause other problems.
Yes, and that's what usually happens. That oftentimes.
That's why sex become
people get into relationships and get into marriages
oh my God.
for the wrong reasons. And so when you get into it for the wrong reasons, you didn't already work out a lot of kinks. There's gonna be some lessons you got to learn. But if you don't work out some things and you get in it because there's societal expectations, your family. And I'm going to say societal, which is going to include family and friends as well, okay? So I don't have to go and point them out.
Right.
So when you're looking at it from societal expectations and you get into your marriage or your committed relationship or whatever your arrangement is based on societal expectations, then you almost set yourself up. Now, granted, there have been a lot of successful relationships as a result of societal expectations, okay? Arranged marriages and so forth, okay? It is what it is. But, like you say, were you truly happy? Could you find happiness? Maybe. But I don't want to get too far off topic. Relations with a medical condition.
All right, this is final thoughts.
Let me see what the last.
If we go strictly from relations with a medical condition, okay, if we close the box right there, if we close the parameters right there, relations with a medical condition, okay, my first push is, what can we do?
Okay,
that does not affect you in a negative manner.
So, pause. Hold that. With that, just that piece you said, should that be a conversation you have with your mate?
Yes.
This is the conversations you have, pillow talking, babe.
Yes.
If something was to happen, and I can't do, because we might key laugh and joke, but be for real now, because this is a reality. We talking about it. This is a reality. I'm gonna say it again. This is a reality. Right. Okay, so at best, let's go ahead and kind of put some. Even if you gotta call a motherfucker on their bluff, I'm just saying, look, we here now.
Yeah.
So, and you're reasonable in your presentation. Like, not just because you just told me yesterday this happened, this is happening, and I don't work through it because some of these
conversations
we're gonna work through it, right?
Yeah, some of these conversations should have been had before you got married. To be honest with you.
Well, no, I wouldn't say before you got married. Yeah. But when we get married, because we here now.
Well, you can't have them before you get married.
Why you can't?
That's too
much. Because they don't exist.
Because I mean,
I don't want to have that conversation.
Listen to me.
Before I get married.
Because we're talking about desires.
We should have it.
We're talking about desires of what you want and don't want, right?
Well, I'm gonna know about your desires.
So
okay, if you talk about for desires, then yes, I get you.
Those are important.
Medical emergencies. We can get the car accident tomorrow. We can have things happen to us where we aren't sexual. We need to have this conversation because it
can see that now.
So we need a sexual prenup now?
No, we need to know what would happen in a scenario where it's off the table. Just like, what if you couldn't cook for 6 months? We need to we need to talk about these things.
So hold on. Let's take sex off the table for a minute, and let's talk about what happens in everyday life, right? If you get into an accident, hurt, most adults already have a system in place, right? In case of an emergency, right? It's no different when you're talking to your mate about the things that you talk about. Like, if you want to tell your mate, listen, I'm looking for that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, because y'all sitting there looking up at the sky, she better understand. She better say what that part of the rainbow, what that pot of gold look like, because you need to get
she
that.
She acknowledge it when she sees it. Or
that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Now, like I say, I probably would not have once upon a time had those kind of conversations, but now in my seasoned years,
right,
and more experience, there are things that, I'm just gonna let's just go on and talk about it. I mean, whether we life partners or married, however, I can see that.
No pun intended. I had a whole friend that got married and died not even a month later. You understand what I'm saying? This shit is real, right? And I have the utmost respect for his wife, because she said to me she was already prepared because their love was that strong already. She found a life partner and they love hard from the time
but that's because connected. They had opportunity.
Right.
They had opportunity. So if and we're getting off task, but I'm gonna go ahead and address this.
We good.
So we're going through stages in life, bro.
Mm-hmm.
We're going through stages in life.
Right.
I got three daughters. Okay. 3 daughters.
Uh-huh.
And my goal is to make sure that they're cool regardless of whatever else I'm going through.
Right.
Right? So regardless of who I'm seeing, calling, talking to, hanging out with, my goal is to make sure they're cool.
Right.
So now you got to reconcile. You got to reconcile that, because that's my ultimate priority.
Mm-hmm.
Versus how do I take care of your need, whoever I'm seeing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when we line that up, damn, smart.
It's all good, man.
Your drink kicked in.
The smoked maple is happening. Okay.
It's all right, man. I've been with you the whole time.
Let's get it.
Okay, let's get it.
Your
so,
daughters.
reality check. Okay. I need to make sure, one, that what I'm doing is, one, respect. 2, Now we talk about our needs.
Mhm.
Our needs. So our needs have to remain respectful. But
I
then the
got you.
other part of that is, if I'm saying to you, I'm used to this.
Mm.
Now, we may not be dealing with the same partner.
You right.
Okay. Many blessings, much respect to Buddha and Baby.
Mhm.
Okay. But we may not be dealing with the same entity
You right.
as we move through whatever it is we're doing.
Mm.
Right?
Right.
Okay. So, in saying that, I'm saying I'm still trying to get me,
Right.
basically. I'm trying to get me. So,
Mhm.
if you can't give me,
Ah, I'm with you. So I'm gonna throw this out here. I always wanted to say it. It's something me and 25-8 always say all the time. So because 25-8, yeah, that's me. So we all in our
oh, baby,
40s, 50s.
put my
right?
glass away in a minute.
So I mean, we got to be Thundercats, man. Line note, looking into the sight beyond sight. So when you picking your mate, you got to hold that sword up, boom, 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 and look through that thing and say, "Oh, sight beyond sight."
Hold up. Let me ask the question.
Huh?
Thundercats
Yeah.
being Thundercats,
That
yay!
point.
Or
See, my point exactly. He said, "Give me sight beyond sight," because he wanted to see beyond what he was physically seeing. Dig it? So when you in this 12 realm and you say, okay, this is the woman or man, whoever you are, or is for you, you got to already have the vision further down the line.
yes,
Right?
yes.
That's
True.
sight beyond sight.
True.
Let's be Thundercats. You dig it?
Thundercats.
And let's reel this thing in. Let's reel it in to the basic level, because we you know, we're so quick to say, oh, if I'm married, this, that, and the other.
Mhm.
And then from the other perspective, we're so quick to say, well, you know, I need this taken care of. But the reality of it is, if you have that for that person, okay, you will exceed all of those parameters of which you thought you would never exceed. Now, that puts you in a whole different space,
Right.
mentally, emotionally, spiritually, okay? Because when you get married, okay, versus when you're single, I can look back and say, when I was single, I didn't do this, I didn't take that, I didn't. But when you get married, you find yourself going, damn, why was I dealing with this? Because that was that connection, okay, what you thought was the end all, the be all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, understood. Stay focused. Relations
Right.
with medical condition.
Sight beyond
Right.
sight. Oh.
So that okay. So when you utilize Buddha's Thundercat sight beyond sight.
That was great, baby. I don't care what you say. That was great. You know what I'm saying?
I do, and these are going to be our final thoughts. Okay. My final thought is, when you're dealing with a medical condition that comes after your relationship, has already been, it's happening. You're in the midst of your relationship and you have a medical condition. Talk. Communicate effectively. Communicate with your mate. If you don't do nothing else, and this is for the men, which I know I will never be a man. I don't have no desires to be one. Look at the Thundercat.
My man. I'm with it all the way, baby.
And so men, it's easy for women to express themselves. We do that. We have no quarrels about it. However, it's imperative for men and women to use your words. And
yes,
until tonight, I mean, I've always been a pretty open person for conversations and so forth, but at this moment, I can now agree that when you find yourself in your relationship and you've shifted to another level as far as moving forward with each other, and you seem like you guys are on a path of some longevity, it's imperative that you start engaging in these types of conversations because, one, we are living in a pandemic. It is real. And not just a pandemic, a car accident, unforeseen conditions, okay? Beyond just a actual member.
It don't take long.
Member condition.
You can just
it
fall.
Can be a condition, period.
Slip.
That enables you. And see, we say relations and a medical condition. That medical condition does not necessarily have to be related to your man or lady parts. Let's be mindful of that. It could be something other. Okay? And so, but the relations is impacted as a direct result of said medical condition. Okay? And so, my final thoughts again, I'm saying, first and foremost, if you don't do nothing else, you need to be transparent and upfront and communicate those things. Because again, it's kind of like with change. Change, you don't really see the change right away. Unfortunately, it takes about 20 days, give or take, 20, 21 days, right? So we're talking about 3 weeks, roughly, 3 weeks to a month, right? Before you realize, damn. And you had that damn moment. When you have that damn moment, you need to go and talk to your mate. Babe, I'm sorry. Babe, whatever, man or woman. Y'all got to start talking like, my bad, and then is it really that you just kind of checked out? Or is it that there's something probably could be going on?
I got you.
And y'all, if y'all in this thing for the long haul, married or committed, this is an opportunity for you to be transparent and open about it and talk about it. And now you're going to find out if this is your ride or die. Your man or your woman, is this person really going to stick beside you and let you know, hey, well, let us make this. And when they start using the word us and we, that's a sign that they actually in this thing. Okay. Now, whatever, for all intents purposes, when they say we need to make an appointment, so we can find out what's going on, so we can find out, so I know what I need to do to help us. They ain't got to say the us part, but in reality, that's what's happening. But follow through. So that's my final thoughts. Communicate.
I want to go there. Velvet, take over.
Velvet.
Okay. First of all, my final thoughts is I love y'all. I love y'all platform. Y'all are everything. I love the raw, real conversations you bring all the time. So thank you for that. My final thought to the subject at hand is at any given time, we can suffer with any type of medical condition, medical accident, and it could leave us not being able to be the same lover that we was. If that was to ever happen, like you said, baby, we have to have honest, compassionate conversations. We have to ensure that we love ourselves enough that I want to always be happy and I want you to always be happy. So where do we meet in the middle so that my spouse, when they come home at night, they're happy to be with me and I'm happy to receive them? I don't think we need any pressures. We don't need to worry about what society has to think. We have to come up with what works for us. And this is a topic of conversation that is very common, you know, especially during these stressful times. We lose our libido left and right, men and women. So let's have this real conversation. While doing it, let's ensure we're always safe and happy as possible. And that's how I feel about it.
I dig it.
Oh man, I love that. Oh, I love it. And you have so much validity in what you said, especially in these times. It's been what, over a year now, like let's just say a year and a half, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so in a year and a half, we got men and women that have gained pandemic weight. People have lost their jobs, people have gotten new jobs, people are working from home, whole lifestyle changes. So, you know, and, you know, my condolences to those that have lost loved ones from complications or direct impact from, you know, coronavirus. And so it's not easy. People are still stressing. People anxiety levels are off the charts. And so that is a medical condition.
Absolutely.
And you know, and so I want us to be understanding and mindful that medical conditions are not necessarily terminal per se, you know, or a deadly, terminal, whatever words you want to use. If you are diagnosed, have a medical condition that is being treated, be it by therapy or prescribed medications, that is a medical condition that can impact your relations or your desires for relations. So I know we kind of talked a lot about sex, the penetration portion of it, but trust and believe, we will repeat this segment because there are other avenues that are impacted, and it is indeed considered a medical condition that can psychologically impact you, man and women. And I would also like to probably think about doing some kind of collaboration with the talk, because that is an all male panel, okay? And I really want to pull you in as well, and a couple other ladies I'm interested in, because with this conversation, there are things that men don't talk about, or they talk about it amongst themselves, but you know, we need to find a way to bridge the gap in having the conversation about, we want to hear you say these things to us. Now, granted, all men and women are not created equal. We're not talking about them. Okay? Let's just be clear. We're talking about the people that actually want to have these conversations. Okay. Those are the people we're focusing on, because we know all men don't do this. We know all women don't do that. We're done with that. We're only talking about, and we're placing our energy in those that
trying to change the narrative.
That are trying to change it. Look at, give me some. Okay.
Now, Hannibal, what's your final thoughts?
Final thoughts, Hannibal.
So
look at that smooth bald head, y'all.
So
come up here in the camera. Come out.
You put him in there. There you go. Ooh.
Ooh.
Hey, don't get this man in trouble. Don't get into trouble now. Do not get into trouble.
You can't. The good part about it is you can't get me in trouble. That's the good part. So
that's a grown man right there.
Yes, it's a grown A man. Grown A man.
All right, very good. Bring it to us.
The conversation and what we are talking about is situational, but it is universal in the sense that I think all of us that have been or are in long-term serious relationships have faced something of this type of situation. Okay. The question is, how do you handle it? Because happiness, the completeness of the relationship, I didn't say the people, the happiness, the completeness of the relationship depends upon the interaction of the entities. Now, some of us have been through this in one form or fashion. And in saying that, I'm thinking of the words to say.
You better say it fast. I'm gonna die on you.
Okay, I'm gonna say it fast. Listen, you got to work what you have.
Yeah.
Period. Point blank. Now, in working what you have, you got to understand the parameters, and then you have to understand the person that what you were dealing with. Now, are they willing to try to meet you in the middle? Maybe they can't, but are they willing to try? And are you willing to try to meet them in the middle? Maybe you can't, but are you willing? And if you have that type of effort from both sides, then you can get through, even if you don't meet all of your objectives. But the push is important. I'm done.
I'm listening.
Go ahead, keep talking.
Okay, I'll keep going. So, I just say that the push is important. When we look at these types of issues, especially medical, you can't say that it's unfair. Life is unfair.
Yeah.
It is. It is indeed.
It is. Life is unfair. And when we look at that, and when you look at relationships and when you look at situations, nothing's fair about it. There's no level playing field. It is what it is. You have a certain set of resources of what you're working with, a certain set of talents, a certain set of happiness, if you will, that of which you have given, and the other person has the same. Now, you don't get to control those external factors that say, we're going to change this. We never go into a relationship saying,
True.
well, when my wife gets cancer, or when my husband has prostate issues, or when my, SO has dryness issues. We don't go into it. We're going into it saying, oh man, this is going to be the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah.
That's how we go into it.
That's
and it's when we bump into these issues, then it's like, how do I navigate?
I got you.
And that's why, essentially, at the end of the day, it's important for us to have these discussions up front.
Right.
And although all the conversations we have, you may find that, it's navigated a certain way. No, these are conversations you have whether you're in a monogamous relationship or if you're in a poly lifestyle. These are conversations you want to have, period. When you engage in or you reach a level of commitment where you're engaged to be married, you're married, or you just decide to be life partners without official documentation. Whatever it is, have those conversations with each other because it is important. And
my final thoughts, baby.
Be sure to look out. No, I'm not finished. Be sure to just look out for another phase to this particular topic because there's more medical conditions that we need to bring to the table. Yes, baby.
Yeah.
Bring it on. Bring us home, baby.
So my thoughts from the base.
Oh, there we go.
You like how I did?
Talk to me.
So my thoughts from the basement comes from us need to understand and have a new found base level of what love is.
you got?
Out of
Hey,
all
that's
this stuff,
that's deep.
I love
That's
it.
deep.
Wait. I was
Listen, like we gotta really understand.
I wasn't ready.
No, we really gotta understand what true love really is. We gotta go back and really and reevaluate our initial idea of what love is, right? Because that's where
Wait.
wrong.
Can you repeat that previous statement?
We
Starting from our initial idea of.
For our initial idea of what love is, right? You know, that's just where I'm at, man. I hit you with possessiveness is not love. Everybody on the outside know that, but guess what? When it comes to the filtration of where they at, you better not cheat on me. You better not do these, the X, Y, and Z, right? You know what I'm saying? It comes back to this base level, right? To bring it all the way back to what we talking about, Black culture, right? We learn what the said ideology of what we need to do as far as marriage, religion, all this from a slavery-based content. Do we truly believe this?
Right.
So now I'm here to tell you we got to go back to learn how to really true the basement, like you say, the base.
We got to go before.
Before.
We got to go before.
Before this.
Not back. We got to go before.
We don't need.
But that's just another topic.
No, that's another topic. However, I don't believe we need to go back. We need to start from where we are. We need to utilize some of the principles as it applies, because going back takes us to a time where there was the revolution wasn't being televised. Okay, there was a level of understanding in a time of the time. We are no longer in those times.
I can feel that, baby.
And so going forward, there's principles, there's some foundations. Okay, I'm here for that. However, we need to stop trying to go backwards. We need to be moving forward. How do we utilize the tools and the resources that we have in our now?
Right. Stop being poisonous.
And move forward. The things have already happened. And if we keep moving backwards, we will never be progressive.
Yes, move forward and make up your own.
I pay attention, bro.
But I agree. We have to move forward, but we have to know where.
We already know that. We know that.
Do we?
And we do. But here's the thing. What we knew was based on principles of that time. So we cannot continue to utilize all those things that our mamas and grandmamas and nims and the slavery and all of that. We cannot use all those principles to the context of what it was presented at that time. We need to take some, we can extract from it, because there was some foundational tools that can be used as a stepping stone to where we are in our now. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. However, we cannot continue to live our lives on previous activities. I am not the same person that I was last year. Yes. So I damn sure I wasn't even around 400 years ago. Okay? Neither was any of us. I'm not my mama. I'm my mother's child. I'm not my grandmama. I am my grandmama's child. So I can only extract certain foundational things. It's no differently than going to your church and your pastor is presenting you a speech, his sermon. And you're not going to utilize everything that he said in its full context. You're going to take what pertains to you. Same concept. So I'm only saying that to say we have to change the narrative. And it does essentially begin with effective communication, no matter what it is across the board. However, as it pertains to our topic tonight, relations with medical conditions, it is highly imperative that if you are indeed in this committed relationship, marriage, or just a committed relationship, your significant other, however you title that person, common law marriage, whatever, okay? Make sure you are communicating with your mate. If you already know their pre-existing desires, I'm not saying you need to break, bend, mold, and all those different things, but you have to come to a point of realization that after a significant period of time, it is a reality that that person have desires. Yeah. And that is what we're going to close on.
Stay on, guys.
So that's the takeaway.
You guys don't leave until we'll don't leave. Just hang tight and we're going to end the broadcast, okay? Well, we love you all. We appreciate everyone's comment. We appreciate everyone's feedback.
Yeah.
It is so important. We appreciate you all coming on week after week. Yeah. We are on episode 9 of 12.
We got 3 more episodes.
So we got 3 more weeks to go for our season 13. We have over 1,000 followers on our Facebook page. We are seeking to increase our numbers on YouTube. And so if it will be the most appreciative thing that you guys are coming over and you like, follow, and share. We have merchandise, and that is easily located. Okay, let me tell y'all this real quick because I have to always make sure I put it there. It is at www.buddhaandbaby.com. All right, and it's super important to make sure y'all get it where y'all don't forget it because I want all the people in the bite to see it. Boom. So make sure y'all get that because the merchandise is on there. You can get t-shirts, socks, fanny pack, water bottles. Come with it. All right. So make sure y'all go over there and take care of that because that is another way that you can support us. But for free, you can support us by simply like, following, and sharing.
Yeah.
And so how can I know you are doing your thing behind the scene, Miss Velvet? So do you now have an opportunity for them to reach you or are we still pending?
No, I'm just retired.
That's it. That's your story.
That's my story.
Get you when you can.
Retired.
So we're going to bring her back because we know how to reach her. She ain't going nowhere.
Nowhere.
Okay. Mr. Hannibal.
My man.
Tell them how to reach you.
Thoughts from the base-men. Now, that stands for base mentality. Philosophical, however you want to put it, these are just my thoughts. So tune in. I appreciate you. We'll discuss it. It's just life.
Gotcha. Thank you all. We really all, we definitely, when I say we appreciate everybody that come on, we love our guests. We love that we value their input. We value our viewers' opinions and everything that comes with the territory. You know what I'm saying? Because first and foremost, if it wasn't for you all, we wouldn't even be here. You know what I'm saying? We like almost 4 years in this thing?
Yeah, baby.
You know what I'm saying? And we still popping. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
Keep riding with us.
Hey, listen, if you feel if you feel like you want to sponsor us, not maybe you guys, but people who's listening, hit us up.
We ready. All right. Until next week, next time, same energy, baby. We out.
We sipping in conversation. Sipping in conversation.
Beat me up, Scotty. Beat me up, Scotty.
Sipping in conversation. We sipping in conversation. Sipping in conversation.
Beat me up, Scotty. Beat me up, Scotty.
Sipping in conversation.
This is for the simples.
Yeah. We sipping in conversation. Oh.
What up?